Hello guys and welcome. My name is Jason. I'm going to be looking at some cars with a primary focus on the manual transmission cars. So if that's something you're into, go ahead and hit subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your friend's mom. That's how I will be able to get into more cars. And if you have a car for me, go ahead and send me an email at jason@manual-cars.com. I'm in Central Connecticut. So today we're going to be looking at the 2020 Toyota Corolla SE in the sedan version, with a big thank you to Middletown Toyota for providing that car. So let's take a look. Hello guys and welcome. Today we are looking at the 2020 Toyota Corolla. This is the sedan version. This is pretty much, when I think of the word car, I think Corolla, you know. It's one of those things where you go on the internet and you ask, what should I get that's just going to last me forever, reliable, doesn't have to be fancy, anything. You know, I just want a cheap car that's going to last me forever. And you know, somebody's gonna say Miata because everybody likes to do that. But there's always somebody that likes to do that. But then you've got the Corolla, pretty much, and then the Civic and the Mazda 3 are the other two. Mazda 3 doesn't get mentioned as often for some reason, but yeah, this is definitely a favorite. That Toyota reliability, Toyota's, you know, this thing has been around for a while now. It's they first started producing these in 1966, which is insane. You know, it was a fastback with a square body and rear wheel drive, so it's changed a little bit, but yeah. So let's take a look. It's got a nice sporty look to it. These wheels are pretty nice. This is the SE trim, which is it's about mid-range. It's the only way you can get the manual on the sedan. If you want to get the manual with the hatchback, you could do the SE or the XSE, which is like the mid trim and the upper trim. But since the SE is the only one you can get the manual on in the sedan, we'll focus on this one. It's got these weird fake vents up here for, you know, for the sporty look. It works, you know. Well, the lights look nice, the nice LED lights. Let's hop in the back real quick, see how I fit. And I'm 5'7" here, so the seat's set for me up front. Tons of space, no problems. Check out the trunk. Nice big trunk. Goes deep in there. A little more of this honeycomb stuff. Dual exhaust. This honeycomb doesn't actually, there's no depth to it. It's just plastic, but it looks nice. Nice LED lights back here too. Sticker with all your options. Alright, let's get in and start it up. Push button start, of course. A nice big tack. Speedometer, kind of standard. Usually they're on either side, but this one's got the tack and the speedometer on the left, and your adjustable menu there on the right. Okay, your menus here, your adjustable custom menu here. Average fuel economy. Lane assist. The vehicle settings. parking brake on. You know, kind of your standard stuff. Adjustable wheel. All your standard controls here and here. This big tablet popping out in the middle. It's got real buttons, which is super nice. Apps. Infotainment. Now this one, it does have Apple CarPlay, and it also has Amazon Alexa connectivity, but it doesn't have Android Auto, which is a little frustrating. And navigation is not installed on this one. So that would be kind of a big deal for me now that I've been exposed to Android Auto. You know, once you have it, you really can't go back. Got all kinds of safety features on this one. You got the emergency parking, or emergency brake assist. You got lane departure warning, pre and post collision safety. It's got the nice LED lights, like I mentioned. Hands-free everything. Keyless entry, which is always nice. You saw those nice 18-inch wheels with the all seasons on them. These plastics, you know, they're kind of soft actually. Don't feel too bad. It's pretty classy in here, you know, they've paid a lot of attention to the design for sure. You do have the parking brake, electronic parking brake, which is not my favorite, but this is not exactly a sports car. I'm not going to be doing e-brake turns here or anything. Got this nice shifter, it feels solid. It's got the collar for reverse. Nice big backup camera. Alright, let's take this thing for a little ride. One of the nice things about the electronic parking brake is if you go and you still got the brake on, it just shuts right off. Still probably not the best, but it's definitely a nice feature for it. Though I would still obviously prefer to have the manual handbrake, but you know, I'm not exactly going to be doing e-brake turns in this thing. The handling, it's light. It's about what you'd expect. You know, this isn't something where you need a lot of steering feel, a lot of feedback. I prefer that, you know, prefer to have more feedback, but it's a commuter car or not. It's okay if you have lighter steering, four-wheel independent suspension, nice smooth ride. You know, you feel the bumps, but it's not too bad. This one does have the upgraded engine. It has the 2-liter engine instead of the 1.8 because it's the SE, which gives you 169 horsepower up at 6,600 RPM instead of the 1.8, which gives you 139 horsepower. This one gives you 151 pound-feet of torque up at 4,400 RPM. It's interesting that peak power is up at 6,600, but red line is, you know, 6,700. I'm not exactly going to rev out a Corolla, but, you know, each their own. Now that's something that a lot of the competitors seem to be doing now, is if you want the manual, you have to get the upgraded engine. You can't get the base engine. You know, the Civic, the Mazda 3, they both do that. You have to get the Sport for the Civic, you have to get the Premium hatchback for the Mazda 3. Both of those are the upgraded engine with the higher horsepower. I guess they assume that if you're going to get the manual, you want a little bump in power, you're looking for something a little sporty. It's probably not a bad assumption. Unfortunately, I think the Mazda 3 has priced itself out by giving you only the premium trim hatchback. So now if you're not in hatchbacks, or if you don't want to pay, $27,000 just to get the manual, you're either not getting the Mazda 3 or you're not getting the hatchback, which is kind of frustrating because actually the Mazda 3 was my first stick. I was a little bit out of college, had a steady job for a little while, and wanted to learn stick, so had some friends show me and bought a Mazda 3. It was the cheapest option, the base model with the 6-speed, and I loved that car, but it's not really in the running anymore. You've got this one in the Civic, now Hyundai is actually coming up. Hyundai Kia with their Forte and the Elantra, those are both in the running now, really. But still, online you get, if you're gonna ask for something cheap and stick, people are gonna tell you, oh, you get the Corolla, you get the Mazda, you get the Corolla or you get the Civic. And they're both good options for sure. This one, the shifter, is not what I remember. I remember the shifter. I drove a hatchback. It must have been the XSE. I don't remember the shifter feeling quite this good in that one. This one, it feels like it has a really nice track. There's no slop at all to it, which is really, really nice. It's got the collar for reverse. Reverse is up and to the left. A lot of people argue about that, but I like it up and to the left. It's just what I'm used to. I also prefer the push down, but the collar is fine, Overall, at this price point, I think this was $22,000 new. This and the Civic are really pretty good options at that price point. The Civic has the 1.5 liter turbo in it. If you don't want to deal with the turbo, or if you don't want to deal with Honda's alleged oil dilution issues, this is pretty good, 32 miles per gallon combined. It's a great commuter. It's comfortable enough. The seats they're cloth. They're not super cushiony, but they're perfectly fine for a commute. I really like this, the design here. There's no lag really in this. They've got nice transitions. They really put a lot of thought into this. I like the nice buttons here and the nice, the nice big icons in the menu. Everything's really easy to use. You got the regular knobs here, those stupid volume sliders, and this here is all nice. Somebody really paid a lot of attention to the design in here, and it really looks nice. Everything's really nice and easy to use. I barely even felt those bumps. The ride quality is really, really good. So it'd be a great car for a first stick. Or just, just a regular commuter. You just need something fuel efficient. It's not going to bore you. It's really a really nice car. Still don't know why there's no Android Auto. That would frustrate me. That's my only real big complaint with this one, is the lack of Android Auto and the light clutch. I wish the clutch had a little bit more feel to it. After a while you kind of get a feel for the bite point all the way at the top, but it's so light that it's really kind of vague. It's hard to catch the bite point. Otherwise, yeah, definitely a solid option. Plenty of room in the back. Friends, family. Big trunk, as I saw before. So there you have it. That's the 2020 Toyota Corolla SE. That one was 22,000 MSRP when it was brand new in 2020. Obviously, those have come down a little bit now because you're probably looking at used. If you want the sedan version and you want the manual, then you're looking at the SE. So that's why we focused on that one. Get the 2-liter engine, a little bump in horsepower. Definitely peppy enough for your daily commute. And definitely a solid option. I wish it had Android Auto. That and the really light clutch are my only two big complaints. The clutch is so light that it's kind of vague. But you kind of get used to it. You kind of get a feel for the bite point after a while. So maybe that's no big deal. Once you're living with it. It's a good solid first car, good solid commuter car. Definitely, it's a compact, but it's got plenty of space. Cars are getting bigger and bigger, so even something that's technically called a compact has enough space. Lots of trunk space, lots of back seat space. So definitely a solid option. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.